This is a poem of Paul Revere's Ride by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. Listen, my children, and you shall hear of the midnight ride of Paul Revere. On the 8th of April in 75, hardly a man is now alive remembers that famous day and year. He said to his friend, if the British march by land or sea from the town tonight, hang a lantern aloft with belfry arches and north church towers a signal light, once by land and two by sea, and on up shall be, ready to ride, spread the alarm, to every Middlesex village and farm, every country road to be up into arm. Then he said good night, and muffled or sound a road to toss and short, just as the moon rose over the bay, speeding wide after a morning's lay, a Somerset British man of war, a phantom ship with each mast and spar, across the moonlight was in a bar. And huge battle wells magnified, bound to election in the tide. Meanwhile, his friend through alley and street wandered left with eager ears to lend the silence around he hears the muster of men at the very door, the sound of arms and the tramp of feet, and the mettered tread of the grenadiers marching down to the woods and the shore. Then he climbed the tower of Old Myth Church, by the wooden stairs his stealthy tread to the chamber overhead. Nor stalled the pigeons from their perch, and the somber rafters round him made masses and moving shapes of shade. By the trembling ladder, steep and tall to the highest window in the where I paused to listen and look down, and moment moves to town, and the moonlight fell like over all. Beneath the churchyard they did there, and their nap tent on the hill, rocked and danced and wept still that he could hear like a cymbals tread, the watchful night wind as they went, keeping along from tent to tent, sing whisper, all is well, only a moment he feels the spell. Of the place and hour of the secret dread of the lonely belfry and the dead, where sadly all hostess will been away, on the shadowy something far away, with the river wide as to meet the bay, a line of black that bends and floats on the river's tide like a bridge of boats. Meanwhile, pitched the mountain ride, blue and spread of heavy stride and opposite with Paul Revere. Now at his side is the landscape far near. Then impetuous stamped earth, he turned in tightness, saddled earth, but mostly washed with eager surf the buffy tablet on the church. As I rose above the graves on the hill, was spectral, lonely spectral and summer and still. And mostly looks in the belfry's height, the moving gleam of light. He springs to the saddle and bridle he turns, but lingers days until full of sight. A second lamp in the belfry burns. A hurry of hooves in the village street. A shape in the moon, I bolt in the dark, and from beneath him, from the pebbles and passing a spark, struck out by that steed, flying fearless and fleet. That was all, and yet in the gloom and the light, the fate of a nation was red as night. The spark got struck by that steed, and its flight kindled the land into flame with its heat. He's left the village and mountains asleep, and beneath him, tranquil and broad and deep, is the mystic meeting the ocean's tides. From under the alders that skirt its edge, no soft in the sand, now loud on the ledge, has heard the tramp of his feet as he rides. It was 12 by the village clock when he crossed the bridge in Medford town. He heard the crowing of the cock, cock-a-doodle-doo, and the barking of the farmer's dog, and felt the damp of the river fog that rises after the sun goes down. It was 1 by the village clock when he galloped in collecting time. He saw the gilded weathercock swim in the moonlight as he passed, and the meeting house windows, blank and bare, gazed at him in spectral tears as if already swift asked the bloody work they would look upon. It was 2 by the village clock when he came to the bridge in Concord town. He heard the bleating of the flock and the twitter of birds among the trees. and felt the breath of the morning breeze blowing over the meadows brown. And while one was safe and asleep in his bed, who at the bridge will be first to fall, who that day will be lying dead, pierced by a British musket ball. You know the rest of the books you have read, how the British Revere's fired and fled, and how the farmers gave them ball for ball from behind each fence and farmyard wall. Chasing the redcoats down the lane, crossing the fields to emerge again under the trees at the turn of the road, and only pausing to fire and load. So through the night rode Paul Revere, and so through the night went the cry of the alarm, to every house and field and farm, cry of defiance and not of fear. A voice in the darkness and knocked at the door. And a word that shall echo forevermore, born on the night wind of the past, through all our history to the last. The people will waiting to listen and hear. The hurrying hoofbeats of a steed. And the midnight message of Paul Revere.